So if you're actually having a PlayStation 5 right now and is actually thinking to play CTR Nitro Fueled, there are certain things that you need to look out for, especially since there is a serious problem that arises during the online multiplayer. Or at least that's what I actually heard from PlayStation 5 users. Now I've just gotten my PlayStation 5, so I'm able to actually test this for myself, and the result is actually pretty interesting. While yes, it does have some issue, but it isn't really as game-breaking as I initially thought it would be. Now the problem is actually there, but it can be easily fixed, but it is a little bit confusing as I tested it myself, so do stay with me. Now just in case you're wondering what are the benefits of playing on the PS5, you will get a much better loading time, and that itself is actually a big plus while playing on the PlayStation 5, but even that has its own problems, which I'll get to that in just a second. Now in terms of frame rates and graphical fidelity, however, it is the same as a PS4 Pro since it's running on backwards compatibility. It does not have a PS5 patch as of today, so you will be playing at a steady and locked 30 FPS all of the time. It is a slight bummer, I know, so let's just hope that's a next-gen patch for the game due to its popularity still. Now while the load times are definitely a plus side, there is a downside to it as well, and if you don't know about this, you'll probably be stressed out over the problems it could cause you, so I advise to keep watching to avoid this from happening. Now we'll first need to know what the problem actually is. I heard that when you play on the PS5 in multiplayer and then you skip the intro screen whenever a race is about to start, the game will suddenly become a mess and basically freeze you and other players in place, so I decided to test this out myself. So I launched the game up and I played around 5 online races in total and a little bit more just to test things out more, with each of them actually skipping the intro screen. Out of the 5 races that I've actually played and skipped the intro, one of them literally just froze me and other players up in the starting line in Papu's Pyramid and refuses to start. It took about 5 minutes and 2 other players to actually leave to finally start the race, and that is actually a little bit odd. While this actually happens in this particular match, the other 4 didn't really suffer that much of a negative impact. I remember having one race in Meteor Gorge where I skipped the intro entirely and nothing actually happened in that match. In fact, the last 2 races that I had in Engine Labs and Drive-Thru Danger were running practically buttery smooth, and then again I actually skipped both of the intro as soon as I can, and I had a decent amount of people in that lobby in Drive-Thru Danger, so it was a little bit odd considering how inconsistent the results were. Sometimes I had races where the game just froze up like in Papu's Pyramid, and another where people were just leaving left and right during another race itself. So it is actually a little bit hard to double confirm whether the PS5 version is practically broken based on my test, since the results is actually pretty inconsistent, and I never know because this might be happening for the PS4 players as well, as some races were performing as it should be even though I skipped the intro. So my only conclusion is that if you want to have an almost 100% smooth experiences on the PS5, it is actually highly recommended to turn off the skip intro in the option settings while you're on the PS5. And also do not skip the intro manually to offset and minimize the chances of your lobby being broken. I say this because some of these issues like lobbies literally freezing in place or every player just leaving in during the midway races happens usually when I skipped the intro, while on races I did not skip the intro did not actually happen at all. Now Canadian Guy actually did an in-depth analysis on this. You should definitely check that out, as he actually invited some of his friends to actually play on the PS4 and PS5 to run multiple tests. Then again, the result is still not 100% consistent, but it is good to be aware that there are some PS5 users facing the same issue, which is a broken online lobby when paired together with PS4 players. Now of course, if you're playing solely on single player, that be the time trials and the adventure mode and many whatnot, I don't think you will face any of this issue at all, since your PS5 hardware won't be clashing against the older gen hardware. Plus you will be able to fully enjoy the load times that the new PS5 hardware can actually offer. So in conclusion, the PS5 does have some hiccups, and that is the frozen online lobby during multiplayer matches, but that isn't as serious or as often that many players think that it is. But it is there, so the best solution is to not skip the intro at all in multiplayer races and give the other players a chance to load in time. Of course, single player modes does not have any of these problems, so enjoy them to your heart's fullest content with the much improved and better load times that the PS5 offers. And also Also, I did not have a chance to test this out on the newer Xbox Series X and S, so assuming that they are facing the entire same issue, I guess all you can really do is to not skip the intro at all. All in all, I don't think the PS5 version is actually broken as people are claiming them to be, as I actually did more races after recording this video and I did not face as many issues as I initially expected to. And to be fair, most of these issues are sometimes presented on the PS4 version, so I don't really know too much of the technical side of this, but you can again check out Canadian Guy A's video for a more in-depth and hands-on test run. But that is just throughout my experiences, and I want to know yours. Are you one of the lucky 5 people to actually own a PS5? If so, how is your Crash Team Racing experiences? Is it really as bad as people say it is, or do you think it's just the game's problem itself? Share with me your experiences and you might be in the comment of the day of my next video. And also, if you find this video informative, do subscribe if you're actually new here, as you can always unsubscribe anyway in the future if you change your mind. I will definitely post an updated video for you guys once I have an updated result on this, so do stick around for my other Crash Bandicoot videos and tips and tricks. And while you're still here, do check out these 2 videos as well, as you might enjoy them just as much as I did in making them. This is the Viperian signing off. Thanks for watching and stay awesome.